For this lesson, we're going to investigate the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines by using Geometer's Sketchpad. Here you can see we have line BC and point A, and we're going to construct a line through point A parallel to line BC. So I'm going to go here to the Construct menu and choose Parallel Line. And now I'm going to calculate the slopes of those parallel lines. I'm going to go to Measure, Slopes. Notice if I actually wanted to, I could have also created the equations for those lines and said measure equation. So we have line O and we have line CB, and it appears that their slopes are the same. Parallel lines have the same slope. Let's see what happens if we make this a vertical line. Notice we no longer have y in our equation. A vertical line has the equation x equals whatever the x-coordinate is, and the slope is undefined. And if we make this a horizontal line, the slope is 0. Now I know it doesn't look like the slope is 0. There we go. The slope is 0, and we have the line y equals the y-intercept. All right, let's undo this a little bit, and we will go now and work with perpendicular lines. So parallel lines have the same slope, but what about perpendicular lines? Let's begin by constructing a perpendicular line, and we'll measure these slopes. So we say measure slopes, and clearly the slopes are not the same. Line P has a negative slope, and line BC has a positive slope. So the slopes have opposite signs. But what is true about these slopes? Let's move this around here and see if we can see any relationship between the two slopes. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on with the slopes here, other than one's positive and one's negative. Let's see what happens if we multiply these slopes together. So to do this, I'm going to go to Number, Calculate, and we're going to take the product of these two slopes. And in this particular case, the product is -1. I wonder if that's always true. Let's drag on the points and see. It looks like the product of the slopes will always be -1. Well, what would have to be true in order for the product to always be -1? Well, obviously they'd have to be opposite signs. One slope would have to be positive and the other would have to be negative. But what would have to be true in order for the product to be 1? Can you think of any two numbers that when you multiply them together you get an answer of 1? 2 times 1/2, 2/3 times 3/2, 4/7 times 7/4. So what has to be true for the product of the slopes to be -1? It appears that the slopes have to be opposite sign and reciprocals.